So, Attilio, what originally drew you into real estate and what made you realize that this could be more than just a job for you?
Well, people always think like people who get into this top 1% of real estate, like it was some kind of like well thought out, gathered a lot of information, made an intelligent decision. Mm-hmm. Not for me. It was basically this. I was working at Sears in the appliance division. Glad I made the career change because where's Sears today? Gone.
Out of business.
Anyway, across the street from Sears, Pearl Ridge Mall was a real estate school, the Farney Real Estate School. So I said, you know what? I'm in sales. Why don't I do this real estate thing? And I went to school, passed the test, and did absolutely nothing with it. And then when the time was running out to not have to do the school again, I said I might as well go do this thing with the real estate. And
didn't you think about being an investor before helping people with buying and selling? What made you decide that you wanted to go the other routes?
My first lawsuit. And I was at work with a day job, and this off-duty sheriff caught me coming out the office to the parking lot and served me a subpoena. And it wasn't anything devious that I was doing on my end. It was more of knuckleheadery of doing dumb things. But I was partnered with some people, and they were writing some kind of subject to on somebody's property that was facing foreclosure. And her cousin was a lawyer, and so the paperwork we wrote up was violating all kind of laws. Not
for 6 months. Yeah. Boom,
lawsuit. I was like, I don't know about this investor thing. I'm just going to be on Realtor, errors and emissions insurance, behind a big brokerage, guiding me and just helping and serving people and making my commissions. And what I found out was that sometimes the commissions on something was like more money than you would make as an investor with none of the risk.
And side note, that team that you were with was not Team Lally. It was
it wasn't.
Previous kind of team.
Adrienne was not one of the other two knuckleheads that I got into that lawsuit with. Adrienne, I have a question. Can you walk us through how Team Lally started and how it evolved over the years?
Yes. So it was not any kind of well thought out or well planned.
Oh, you used my strategy.
Yes, it was just a matter of like I did not like doing paperwork.
Yeah.
And initially after I got my license, I wanted to be on a team. I wanted to, just do my thing, which was helping people with like buying and selling. But all this paperwork and the logistics and being organized, that stressed me out. Every time I had a closing, it was awful because it was back in the day when we had to do the paper files and all the tabs, and it was just like it would take me hours to get organized.
If Uncle Sam was our spokesperson, he says, "Do you hate doing paperwork? Team Lally wants you."
So really, I was helping a client. She was super organized, and I said, "Would you help me?"
Yes.
And then I just brought her on to be my assistant to help me with all my paperwork and keep me organized.
Yeah.
And that was great. And then she said, "I want to do what you do." I said, "Fine, I will show you, but you need to find and hire and train your replacement. Once you do that, then I will bring you on. I'll show you what I do." And so that's how the team kind of I think it just evolved from that little tiny point. But what really happened once we really shot up was when you and Howard had come on board. And that was back in 2007.
Yes.
And at that point, I was the only one doing listings.
Mm-hmm.
So, the next thing you know, we had two people doing the listings, and that synergy really increased what we were able to do. So, so that was the whole kind of nutshell evolution of.
And for you old school people that listened to radio back in the day, this is a quote from Paul Harvey. Mm-hmm. And now you know the rest of the story. All right, give me that one.
All right, Attilio, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced early on?
You mean like a lawsuit?
Yes.
Continue with the question.
And how did they shape you with how you run the team today?
It kind of reminds me of like people going up against Mike Tyson. Mm-hmm. They do all this training, blah, blah, blah. They're like, "I got a plan. I'm going to annihilate him." And then Mike Tyson comes back. They interviewing him after the fight, and he's obviously pummeled the guy and most likely knocked him out. You know what Mike Tyson always says after the end of these fights? Everybody had the plan until they hit him in the face. So the biggest challenges for me was literally the Mike Tyson of punches is getting served with that lawsuit and getting through it because I had just happened to...
I think a normal person would have just quit. Would be like, this is not for me. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, I was in the ring with Mike Tyson and was like, "That's all you got?" And so I said, "Give me another one." But anyway, we stayed in the fight and I was like, it's just the attitude because I was like, okay, got my lawsuit out of the way. Let's go. And luckily, I had been doing enough of the closings and transactions. The legal fees on this, or what we settled for, was like $36,000. So my share was $12,000, and so I just wrote the check and said,
And then, but
come
then
in,
but then you had more too. You found out that your other team, not Team Lally, other team was not paying your brokerage fees.
Yeah, so I had to stroke a check for that.
That was a nice little surprise.
In the real estate business or in business in general, we call it dumb tuition. I was making my dumb tuition payments. But all right, so I got a question for you, Adrienne.
Yes.
What does Team Lally stand for beyond just buying and selling homes?
So one of the things that we start with every week during our team meeting is we talk about what it means to be on Team Lally.
Yeah.
So we all stand up and we say we are the strength of our team, and we
create great experiences.
And we have this HEART. Team Lally has HEART.
It's an acronym.
It's an acronym, yep. And it was not just an acronym that I made up or Attilio made up. It was something that we as a team had come together and decided, like, this is really what Team Lally stands for.
This is what our core values are.
Core values, yes. So humble, ethical, accountable, respectful, and teachable.
Now, T originally was tequila, but we're like, no, tequila cannot be one core value. And so we went with teachable.
Yes.
Okay.